Guys there?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just typing. Sorry.
We gotta get Craig in here first.
Bastard, he didn't join.
Oh. Hey, what's up, Heather?
Now recording.
Very nice. Okay. All right. Welcome everybody to another episode of XN Interviews. You can join us live on YouTube or through Discord, or you can tune in after the fact in what is it? Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, or it's not on SoundCloud. It's on Spotify, a couple other things. How you doing, JX?
Doing good, man.
Nice. So this weekend we've got LC Music Tracks joining us, the man who made our new intro.
Hey.
Hope you guys enjoy it. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no problem. So how did you end up downloading Marvel Contest of Champions?
I remember it was the right after the summer of 2014, around September, October. I was just I had a new phone. I was just looking around and it just popped up on my feed and I figured I'd try it. I've always been a Marvel fan since I was a kid, reading comics, etc. So I decided to give it a shot. Joined basically a starter alliance. And then from there, I decided to start my own alliance like a month later. Then I opened up another one 2 months later. So basically, I started right away. I deep dived into it, becoming a leader and running two teams simultaneously, and eventually learning how to play the game and leading and etc. So,
Very nice.
mhm.
So you've been a leader pretty much the whole time you've played MCOC.
Yeah, either been a leader or officer. Then towards the last, when I say the last year or so, I've been on and off playing, and I'm not really as active as much now because I have a lot of things on my plate. Um, but I'm more focused on the music, which I started about a year ago. So I started doing that. With the pandemic and everything that happened, my work slowed down, so I decided to work on something else, which is music. And I figured I'd give it a try and eventually started growing from there. And I started essentially going to the community and asking whoever was interested in having copyright-free music use my tracks. And that's how it all started, basically.
That's super cool. So do you think playing MCOC kind of inspired your music?
Absolutely. I got tired of listening to the same background music for years. I actually wound up playing on mute for the last few, just because it was just, I mean, as much as you love the game, the music was just boring to me. It was the same type of music. It's been the same since I started playing. So I figured, you know what, I could probably make something that's decent that YouTubers can use and gamers can use at the same time while playing.
Very nice.
Mhm.
So since you've been playing, or when did you start actually? Do you remember?
I don't have the exact like time frame, but I want to say around September, October of 2014 is when I actually started playing the game.
Oh wow. Okay, so you've been
Mhm.
playing for since day one then.
Yeah, on and off for a while. I
Okay.
everyone takes their little time off, their little retirement, summer retirement. I've come back multiple times to either start up an alliance or uh whenever there's an alliance that was basically split and they needed to fill up again, they needed assistance, I was always there to kind of help out. I actually was part of a few different alliances once I was tired of leading. This takes a lot of time from you. So I've
Yeah.
been I've been all over the game from starter up to like platinum 1 alliances. So yeah.
Wow. Okay. So what has been your favorite type of content?
As of late, I mean, not I haven't been playing much, but I've always enjoyed the quests, the regular quests that come out on a monthly basis. I used to always deep dive into those, and just having fun with people that you've known for a while you play with. That's pretty much like the best part for me. Alliance quest is okay, I loved the wars in the beginning, but towards the end, before I kind of like really semi-retired or whatever, I just really wasn't a big fan of war, and then I did the issues with the party and everything, so I haven't been as active as I used to. Like I said, I probably log in now maybe once a month. And
Oh wow.
I'm so focused
Okay.
on my music and everything. So
Right on. Um, so if there was a type of content that you could bring back, what would it be?
basis, let's bring them back.
Bases. Okay.
I know I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Um, it's probably, you know what? I would probably like to bring back the maybe like the pre 12.0 era, when even though there was a few key characters who were really good in the game, just because then the game was more fun and actually Kabam did what they said they did, and they used to actually rectify issues when there was an issue. It hasn't been so much when later towards the last few years. I know that this year and the year before they actually been pretty good at doing some sort of compensations, etc. But I feel like maybe that was probably like the height of the game or the pinnacle of the game then.
Okay. Jay, you got a couple questions over there?
Yeah, man. So you obviously you make music for this game. What is like your favorite track that you've made either for the game or maybe for a creator?
Well, you know what? I've made tracks for many different creators. I want to say my favorite, one of my favorite creators, like I would say KT1. He's always been super supportive even from the beginning when I started pitching the idea to him, because he was having issues with copyright music and etc. And so I'm really proud to be able to offer music to his channel and his subscribers. The first YouTuber that was actually with open arms who wanted to try it out was Prof Hoff. He was actually the first YouTuber in mcoc to use it. So I give a lot of thanks to Prof Hoff and also KT1. There's a lot of YouTubers who have been using my music. There's so many, it's kind of hard for me to now follow up, but it's just those are probably the first two, I guess you could say, mid-sized YouTubers who started using my music, and just been very grateful for that. And the receive that I get from everything is unbelievable. Like, everybody's very happy with the music. So I know Katie Candy used it in one of her videos. That was pretty cool. Lord Shadow has used it in some of his live streams. A lot of people. I mean, there's so many YouTubers now that actually still using music, and I'm very happy that they still like it. So
That's awesome. I know one of our first guests, the People's Champ, he used it, and actually, what was it? He helped you raise some money for a new computer.
yes, absolutely. I was gonna get to that. So yeah, the People's Champ. He's a great guy. He actually came up to me and asked me, what was going on with the music. How come it would why did it was taking me so long to produce them. And I was explaining to him at the time when I really first started. I want to say in December of 2019 is when I started actually messing around with the music. I was actually doing it all on my iPhone then. So it was iPhone, GarageBand, and that's it. And I was actually taking me between 9 to 13 hours per track. Just
Oh wow.
because you don't have a full screen, you don't have a keyboard, you don't have equipment, it's all just digital, and you're trying to compose music in a small phone. So
Right.
a few months after the fact, when he found out what I was doing, he just said, hey, I think it'd be a great idea. We can maybe raise some money within the community to help you contribute, to help you get in a little bit something more up to date, maybe a little bit something easier. So thanks to him and the community pitched in, and they actually got me a MacBook, which I've been using to create the last couple of tracks instead of having to use the phone. So that was pretty awesome. So I actually use Logic Pro, which is actually Apple's music editing software. And that was actually provided also by the MCOC community through Sergeant Bourne. I don't know if you may have heard of him or not, but one of the other YouTubers. And he
Yeah.
also had to raise some funds as well for the, for the cause, basically.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's
Mhm.
super cool to see the community give back to people that are creating either videos or music or whatever. It's awesome.
Hmm.
Um,
Absolutely.
so you've been a leader. What do you try to do to keep your members entertained or happy?
Well, I mean, the main thing is having that game life balance that we all know about. We've been, a lot of us have either deep dived into hardcore alliance, whether it's war and AQ alliances or just, some alliances are just a little bit more laid back. And I think to me, it depends on the direction of the alliance it's going or the team. Essentially, it's if you really want to have a hardcore group, you got to make sure that everybody is aware of what the common goal is and whose job is to do what, and the officers pitching in. And I gave so much credit when I was really fully active to the leaders and the officers of the game because they put in so much work and they don't get enough recognition. I feel like that's something that the KBAM should do. I know they were talking about doing something before, but they should really do something for the leadership of the teams that actually put in all the hard work. Whether it be like an extra shards sent to them as part of being the leader or an officer, or maybe extra crystal on a monthly basis. I don't know. I was just thinking there's always something that they were, basically they're over delivering, they're doing everything they can, and they're not getting enough back, basically. So when I was a leader, I was trying to make things fun, make the game fun. Just try to make sure that everybody's on the same page and again respect that game life balance, which a lot of people tend to forget about. Because again, at the end of the day, we are human and we have lives outside the game. So
Totally. Jay, you got a couple more over there?
Yeah, man. So, what do you think about the 2 new characters joining the month with Kitty Pryde and Nimrod? Have you seen any content that you really like about them?
I've watched a little bit of content, not too much. I think that that's great that they're adding newer characters. I've seen gameplay for Kitty Pryde. Kitty Pryde, I believe that's pretty cool. Not too much Nimrod. I've heard like some horror stories of someone trying to beat him. So, but as far as I think that so far the direction is okay. I believe that there's other things they could still work on, like the issues with the party and everything else. Um, but as far as the characters, I believe they're pretty cool. I mean, I would love to see, you know, someone from the Eternals pop in, or I've always wanted the Collective to be a playable character, but I guess he would be
Wow.
overpowered.
A little bit.
Yeah, so there's a lot of a couple of different characters that I would like to see there, but I think so far they're doing a solid job. I know that some of the characters don't live up to the hype, so to speak, but again, maybe that's something that they could look into. Eventually, like Mystique, I heard would be an awesome character. I would love to see her there because I used to always watch X-Men when I was growing up, so that'd be a pretty cool character to see.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, sorry. Muted my mic on accident.
No, okay.
It's all good. So do you pay attention to the lore in contest?
Not too much. I haven't really looked at that as of late, but I know that it's one of the better ones that they've had in a long time.
Jay, have you read it all yet?
I've been pretty busy. I've read like half of it.
Okay.
Of it. I think I think what I've read so far is that it's building more of the mutant Krakoa and Araco, which is the 2 islands. Apocalypse leads 1, and then Xavier and the the Krakoa and Council lead the other, and I think Kitty Pryde is seen exploding a safe house or some house for Arako. So it looks like they're going at war, but Kitty didn't do it. So someone who looks like her did it. So I don't know if that means Mystique or not. I'll have to read it and find out.
Very nice. Okay. So do you pay attention? I mean, obviously you paid attention to the lore in the comic books, right? Or did you read any comic books?
Yeah, I didn't really follow too much into that series. I mean, I was more like into X-Men, and like Spider-Man series, like Venom, etc. I was more into those type of things. It was like in my niche. I used to always read also Ghost Rider series. I was really focused on certain characters, basically, when I was growing up. I never really followed the entire Marvel series.
Okay. So if you do this if you do the little side quest or whatever for this month, there's like a message right here that I just posted in chat. It's pretty weird. It says you wake up in a cold sweat, grasping at the quickly fading corners of a nightmare. There was darkness, but something more than that, something darker than the void of space around the battle room, or the villains you have faced. True, deep, unyielding dark. The feelings of panic and fear begin to fade, but something in the darkness was calling to you. I hope it never calls again. Do you think that's like leading towards like a future event or champion or something like that, Jay?
So yeah, this side. So it looks like the side quest or the like this new type of side quest. This side quest is tied to next month's side quest, the October event. And if anything that I've been following with the lore of the game is that it's been leading to a symbiote event. So the symbiote, it's pretty weird because like a mutant event doesn't really ever tie into a symbiote event, but we've always gotten like a mutant event and then a symbiote event like pretty close together. So I gotta think it's Null. Like it's pretty cool. I think it could be Null, the Chronosurfant. It could be X-Men related, but I'm really number one right now is Null. I think a lot of people agree with me. The symbiote
awesome.
god.
What do you think about that, LC? Do you like Null? Have you read any of that?
Not too much. I mean, I think it would be awesome to just see like newer champions that could be just diversify the entire lineup, basically. So I think that would be pretty cool, just to be able to see a different character. I would say that he's very similar. I guess it's like I want to say Omega Red, basically. So I guess he looks very similar, but is obviously associated with Venom and Carnage. So I believe it'd be nice to have a different type of species. Like I believe he was from Clintar or something like that. I can really remember.
Yeah.
I think it was really early into like the Venom series, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that would be pretty cool to have him, and I think he's like one of the strongest characters ever. So I don't know if he'd actually be a playable character or maybe just be like one of the bosses, something like that. But I believe that he was pretty. I believe he's stronger than Thanos. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he's really strong.
Actually,
ahead,
Venom
Jay.
was the one who actually wound up killing him, I believe.
Yeah, he defeated
Yes.
him. I think Null's not done yet right now. But yeah, the creator of Null said that Null's not done with, so he still survived somehow. And yeah, I'm really excited to see because he basically he was entrapped by the symbiotes. Like they trapped him on this planet, and then that was the Clintar planet. And then he escaped with the help of Carnage, absolute Carnage. And then once he escaped, he brought all hell to Earth because he leads the entire symbiotes. It's really interesting because in the game, Symbiote Supreme leads the entire symbiotes, and we don't know why. So I'm really curious if he's been doing this to wake up Null. He's been in the battle realm all this time, and it hopefully ties into the Chronosurfant, which is like the main enemy of the contest. I'm really excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, if I see any newer characters that I like, maybe I'll come back a little bit more. But I'm more focused on, like I said, my music and obviously life. I have a lot working. I'm doing a lot of hours right now, working, etc. So I'm doing a lot of stuff there. I've also been working on my health a lot as well, so
Okay.
that's pretty cool. Just like Ghost Dog's been doing a lot of one of the YouTubers. He's been putting a lot of time in the gym, so I've been doing the same pretty much. So I've been working on that, and so far I'm happy with my results.
Hell yeah, man. I've been doing some powerlifting myself, so I'm a
Nice.
really tiny person, so I'm doing it with my school. So building some muscle.
Very nice.
That's
Get
awesome.
them gains, boys.
Yeah.
Let's get built up like Noel.
Yeah.
There you go.
We'll be the strongest.
You got another question over there, Jay?
Yeah. So I know you talked about who you would add to the contest. What are the character you'd actually buff? Like, what's someone you would really like to see a really nice buff towards?
As far as the original characters or just in general?
Just whatever character number one you'd want buffed in the game.
I would like to see either a buff or a woo work to like Star-Lord. He was actually one of my favorite champions starting out when I first played. I know that I know he was basically capped at whatever he could outlast damage, etc., or cap damage, but I believe it'd be nice to add a couple of more different things to him that we all know he can do in the game. I feel like he was one of the first ones that people used and looked for when they wanted to first beat Lord ROL, Realm of Legends, and then it was the Labyrinth of Legends. So obviously now they have Abyss. So I always have like this joke with the YouTubers whenever I hop on their stream. I'll say I'll do Abyss when Abyss 2.0 comes out. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I believe the Star-Lord, I would love to see him just get amped up. And then the classic Spider-Man also, I believe, should really get a nice buff. He's always been one of my favorite characters, and he's just like really not really usable besides, well, back in the beginning, he was horrible against play against on defense, but everyone's already learned how to play him. It's his style, etc. But I believe those two would be like awesome. And Iron Man, of course, Iron Man always one of my favorites too, and he's just like not really there. I mean, they gave Ultron a buff before Iron Man of all people, so of all characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think those two would be like my picks to start off with.
Yeah, man, for sure. 2014 champs, the original champs, man. They need so much work. I'm glad we got Black Panther, so hopefully next year we'll get some nice overhauls for the originals.
For sure.
Absolutely.
So you said you haven't done Abyss yet. Have you done all of your paths in Labyrinth?
Yeah, Labyrinth's been done a while back, and I just like I said, towards like the last year or two, I really kind of like slowed down a lot. When I kind of slowly stopped playing when Abyss came out, is because I was just seeing how impossible it was when they first started. I mean, which is crazy, and it's kind of turned me off. But other than that, I mean, it's still a great game, and I believe it still has a couple of years left. But yeah. So lab's been done, and I don't know. I haven't really thought about doing Abyss, even though I know that basic reward. So focus more on the music for the gamers and for the players. And not only that, but also with my music's been used in other games as well. So that's been pretty cool. Like other YouTubers who play other games like Future Fight, etc. So that was pretty cool.
That's sick, dude. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that not only the MCOC community, other communities are using it as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I actually had a big YouTuber who plays Marvel Strike Force. He decided to try it as well, and I thought it was pretty neat. Again, that's me just reaching out to different YouTubers that have like Marvel related games, and I've also reached out just in general to other reactors, like music reactors. One of them happens to be in the chat. His name is Jackson Pierce. So he's actually listened to a couple of my tracks, and he's definitely his fan base has really liked him a lot too. So I usually have some reactors that listen to just regular music and hip hop and R&B and rap and things of that nature. They've listened to the tracks, and that they've actually given me good feedback, so that if I wanted to pitch them to actual artists, that which direction I could go.
That's super cool. That's awesome, dude.
Yep.
All right, Jay, you got another one over there?
Yeah, man. So yeah, you talked about other Marvel games. We just had the announcement of it is Midnight Suns. I don't know. Have you seen any content on that?
No, not at all. Maybe you
Really?
can enlighten me.
Yeah. Here, let's see if I can find the trailer. But yeah, if you're not familiar with the Midnight Suns, it was a team with like Ghost Rider, Blade, Morbius, and they were to fight Lilith, one of the oldest demons. And it's really cool in this game. It's supposed to be it's a console game, so on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, but it's a card-based game. So I was curious if you were interested in a game like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, when it comes to characters like X-Men and I guess you could say those type of characters, I mean, maybe like Punisher, etc. I mean, it'd be cool to play a game like that. My only thing is that I'm always like I'm always on mobile, like I'm never like stationary. So it's really hard. It would be hard for me to try to play a game that I have to actually sit at home and play in. Um, but I think it's a nice flip on what type of games that there are. I mean, for example, I know that one of the other Marvel games that just came out, I think it was called Revolution
Mm-hmm.
or something like that.
Yep.
Revolution, yeah.
Future
So
Revolution. Yeah.
yeah, Future Revolution. So that one actually caught my eye because it was kind of like both RPG and also like almost like PvP based in a way.
Mhm.
And again, but like anything, you have to, it has to cater to your needs, whether that be the PC, mobile, or game system. So I've always played just the mobile type of games. So I mean, it would be nice if maybe they come up with like a mobile version. But I mean, if they come out with that game, that'd be pretty cool. I may look into it eventually.
Very nice. Do you play Marvel Realm of Champions at all?
I did for a little bit when it first came out, so I still have it on my phone. But I think it's a cool concept. They still have a lot of work to do, I believe. But I mean, when I first started,
Yeah.
it was pretty exciting. I did actually create a chat group for it as well. But again, there's only so much time that you have throughout the day. And of course, if everyone who's played MCOC knows, it's very difficult to kind of add on other Marvel related games within the same, within the time, because they'll have a login. You have to log in to either claim a reward or, for you not to lose a reward. One of those things. A lot of these are like login based, especially when it comes to Name Marvel and Kabam. Everybody know that. So
Yeah. Okay. So is there anything that you liked about MROC while you were playing it?
yeah, I mean, I like the fact that they actually had a decent collaborative concept where you're actually playing with other people real time, as opposed to, like for example, like right now with MCC with War, you don't get to really see anyone else fighting, right? I think that would be a nice concept for them to add, which would be a little crazy, but it would be pretty cool to actually see other, maybe they could transfer that over from MROC over to MCOC, where you can actually see other guys that you're playing alongside with, like actually fighting like the bosses, which would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Like a what is it? A spectate mode?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That would be cool. Jay, you got anything over there?
I just read up on the story of this month's event. It was a nanite mutant clone from the Sentinels of Days of Future Past. So a lot of X-Men love right there.
Oh,
Right
okay.
on.
So not Mystique,
Nice.
but
Yeah.
more in Days of Future Past, which is like Katie's probably biggest story,
Right.
back in the day. So yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, so I want to ask you about what do you think about the newest changes to Cavalier? I know Xen's been asking for this for a long time. The team select and map preview screen.
Dude. Yes.
The newest Kabam member, Zero, who just joined, he helped create that.
Oh, you did? Okay. I mean, I've heard about it, but look, anything that has to do with being able to give more flexibility and different difficulties for Cavalier, I think will be pretty awesome. I believe they're still talking about it back in March, I believe.
Yeah,
As
would
far
be.
as adjusting the nodes and increasing or decreasing debuffs, etc., like poison, etc. I mean, I think it's pretty cool. again, I understand what Kevin is trying to do. They're just trying to, I guess, like increase rewards and based on the node selection. So I think it's pretty nice. It just overall, I'd say it's a good thing for the community if they're actually doing a little bit more of a. I guess based on the feedback, everybody thought that it wasn't enough for the effort. So I think, in my opinion, it's a decent implementation.
Yeah, this I've been asking for this for a minute. This so you can finally go in and preview the map before you select your team. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's pretty cool.
Jay, you got anything else over there?
Yeah, what do you think about the newest buffs, Miles Morales and Gamora?
Well, let's put it this way. Gamora should have been like that from the beginning. And I feel like finally she's almost back to almost where she should be at in regards to the duration of her buffs, etc. So I believe it's actually makes the game a little bit more fun when you're playing with characters that have been in for a while that's been sitting there. So I think that's pretty cool that they were able to do that with her. As far as Miles, I don't know too much about his buffs. Maybe you can enlighten us, but just because, like I said, I haven't really been fully in the game as far as playing. I know that Gamora had a little bit of increase in duration, etc. But I know that Miles Morales is, again, he was always was a pesky defender when I used to play against him. So now that if his buffs are more like offensive based, I think it's an awesome addition.
Okay. Yeah, I think Miles looks a lot better and feels a lot better than he used to. I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Jay?
I actually haven't played with him. I know, like, community census was most people didn't like him, but Xander,
yeah,
everyone should know the Xander man. He has been killing it, making a lot of endgame content that people kind of dismissed Miles. Like, they said he wasn't as good as he was supposed to be, but Xander's really been showing that he can solo Luke Cage in the Abyss. So, I mean, it works out pretty good.
Oh, wow. Okay. I guess it's time to really look deep diving into the buffs. But yeah, actually, I think it's pretty cool if we're able to utilize those characters that are really not utilized in an offensive manner. I think that's always makes the game a little bit more fun, especially for new players coming in as well, because there's certain characters that they've always loved, and you typically, when somebody starts playing, it's because it's a particular character that drew them into the game. So I think that's pretty cool that they were able to do that.
For sure. Out of the characters that have been buffed so far, who has been your favorite?
The only one I really played with after the buff was Ultron. I think that his it's as a character that always had ranked up for defensive purposes. But I think that finally he got what he was supposed to have, which is a little bit more bleed damage, etc. So he's the only one I really played with that actually after the buff recently. And I'd say that I don't know if he's broken right now because the bleeds are like really stacking up really high. But he's the only one that I've really played with that I thought that was a pretty decent change into the actual game itself. So I would say if they could do something like that with Iron Man, then it'd be pretty awesome.
Okay. Did I ask you who your favorite champion is?
No, but I think I may have said it a few times, Star-Lord.
Yeah, okay. Right.
I mean, he's my favorite character just because he's my favorite champion, but as far as usability, I would say Ultron is probably my favorite just because of the way he's just a lot more
All right.
a lot more useful than he was before.
Cool. Is there anything about Star-Lord that somebody might miss?
Meaning in the game itself,
Like
or
or like is there like a piece of content that you think he's really excels at, or an ability that somebody might overlook or something like that?
I mean, he's here's the thing, right? He does a lot. I mean, as far as if everybody knows Marvel, I mean, he has other abilities like he can recover from injuries, etc. really quickly. He can generate a personal force field, which would be pretty cool to implement in the game. But in general, just obviously, as long as you don't get hit, of course, which is obviously the favorite, like the joke or the meme of the game. You know, like whenever somebody says, you know, how do you defeat this content, like don't get hit. But yeah, I mean, he's just obviously has an excellent ability, defensive ability as far as block proficiency, and I believe that that's obviously one of his strengths. As long as you're able to do a nice combo meter with him and not obviously get interrupted, then you know, I think he's one of the best, I would say, block proficiency champions in the game as well as offensive. And of course, you have a whole bunch of different synergies that allow him to have that broken and still be able to recoup that ability. I believe it's with Aegon, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he has a lot of different abilities though in the MCU that it would be nice to be added to the actual game.
Yeah, he's also a character that's kind of aged. I think he's aged pretty well. I forgot who it was. Was it Royal? I think it was Royal that really liked Star-Lord, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about like he still loves Star-Lord to this day, and he mostly uses Star-Lord for all content. So I know Star-Lord's aged pretty well. I would still love to see. I think if once the other Guardians get buffed, I think synergy wise they'll make, they'll bring Star-Lord to the like. I think Star-Lord could be into the meta if he was given some synergies with the buffed Guardians team, so we could have a full team of Guardians. Be really nice.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I would also like to say that it would be nice to know. Well, maybe not nice. It would be nice if you could select which element you would like the special to be. Like, you know, when you do like a special 3 or whatever. Just to be able to select the actual like air, earth, fire, water. Just because you're fighting with against so many different champions, it would be nice to just have the ability to select it as opposed to just being random. That's always something that I've always like complained about when I used to use them a lot.
Okay. Yeah, that would make sense because if you shoot it off and they're immune to it, it doesn't really affect them that much.
Right. Like shock or whatever.
Right. Jay, you got anything else over there?
Yeah, man. So have you been paying attention with the MCU recently? What If? And obviously Shang-Chi just released. I don't think we'll talk about spoilers, but I was just curious if you actually seen the movie yet.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
Which one? Which movie?
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
No, I haven't seen it yet. I know that one of the guys in the chat that are watching us now has seen it.
Okay. I've seen it, man.
But
you gotta watch it, man.
Yeah, I've definitely looked forward to seeing that. I know it's been out for a minute, but definitely looking forward to it.
Awesome.
It's definitely. I don't know how he is in the game itself.
He's great,
but I heard
he's really good.
Okay, cool. I know that it's gotten fairly decent reviews. So far, what it came out today?
It came out Thursday night, Friday. Thursday night.
Okay.
Yeah. I watched it like Thursday night because it's like it's a little it's earlier than it's as early as you can get.
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet, so I think I'll see it either this weekend or next weekend. I'm not sure.
Yeah, man, it was really good. You guys will love it. I really didn't have anything bad to say about it. Like that's pretty hard to say because I'm pretty picky, and they did a pretty good. Really, I would say they did an outstanding job with it.
Very nice.
That's pretty cool. I'll definitely take a look at it.
Awesome, man. Yeah.
So have you been paying attention to the What If or the series for Marvel?
Somewhat. I haven't really dived into. I mean, I get the pop-ups, whatever. But I think that they're doing pretty some cool stuff with it. I think I may have seen one of them when it came to, I think it was Doctor Strange, maybe. I may have seen something pop in there. So that was pretty cool, but I haven't really looked too much into it. That would be nice to kind of take a look and see what else there are. As far as the different universes and etc. Different characters, etc. Like T'Challa, I mean, stuff like that, and Killmonger. I did hear about it. I haven't really deep dive into it just because I'm running around a little creative. But I think that they're finally doing something a little bit more creative, which is nice.
Yeah, it's super interesting. The last couple episodes have been what if the world lost the Avengers, and then there was what if Doctor Strange loses his heart instead of his hands. So
Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, they're both really good. I highly recommend watching them.
Awesome.
But have you seen anything about Loki or WandaVision or Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Uh, Believe it or not, I have not. I wanted to deep dive into the Loki series. I heard a lot of good stuff about it. WandaVision, I watched the first few episodes, and then I got really busy afterwards. So I definitely want to finish watching that one. But overall, I think I'm very happy with the direction of what they're trying to come out with as far as Marvel based. More shows that are Marvel based, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, Jay, you got anything else over there?
No, I don't really. There wasn't that much news. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay. Shoot. So, what is it? Penny Parker and who did we have? Who else? 2099, Spider-Man 29. Did you like those characters?
Absolutely, I think that they're definitely a nice addition to the MCU. Well, sorry, to the game. And I think that there's a lot more they could actually do. As far as not them directly, but maybe with the other original Spider-Man based characters. Like I mentioned before with the classic Spider-Man,
Yeah.
it would be pretty nice. But I think that overall that they've added some nice variants, which is pretty cool. I mean, if I were to ask them for a crystal, I would love to have a Spider-Man at Trinity. It would be pretty cool.
Okay. Cool. So what alliance? What was the highest alliance map that you've ran?
As far as AQ or War or
AQ.
as far as AQ, I played briefly. Let me just think for a second. I can't remember the name on top of my head right now, but it was with someone who just semi-retired or retired from the game but wants to keep playing. I forgot his name for some reason. So it was like when Map 7 first was introduced, and that was pretty
Okay.
much like the first and last time I really played Map 7. And then as far as war-based, it was with a game, the alliance called Team 9 way back when. I don't know if you remember Team 9, the Romanian alliance. So I was with them, I want to say about maybe 2 years ago. And
Okay.
we went against Kenobi twice the same season, which killed our chances of getting into Masters. That was probably like the highest I've ever got played as far as MTOC.
Okay. Were you ever a
I want
boss
to say
killer?
Brutal. Sorry, I just remembered the name Brutal DLX. I played with him when Map
Oh,
7
okay.
first came out. So
Nice.
that was pretty cool. But yeah, back then it was a lot of spending. Now it's obviously not as bad. But yeah, when they first came out, it was just brutal. Everyone is using up like 10, 50, almost all the items every time.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, it was pretty bad when it first came out. But yeah, so that's my basically as far as my AQ and 4
Were
experience.
Were you ever a boss killer?
From time to time, I mean, I was given a specific bosses. Obviously, when I was in Team 9, we were given specific instructions on who to go after. But yeah, I was, you could say, then time of my game, I used to, there I was asked to take out the final boss or take out at least, a few of the minions before someone came in towards the end, depending on who it was. Because remember, even now, it's probably the same thing where you have to have a very specific counter for a particular boss. So if you didn't have like, level 200 counter, they would ask you to kind of sit back and wait to see if someone could solo before you go in, type of thing. But yeah, would I be boss killer now when it maps, in a Platinum 1? Probably not. Probably be like more like Platinum 4 maybe or something like that, or Platinum 3 even. Again, I haven't played in that type of high level in a while, so.
Okay. Who is your like nemesis when it comes to fights? Who's the worst character to fight against for you?
Well, when I was, as far as not really AQ, more like War, obviously, because War is a little bit more of a challenge. But I would say that in any game, especially when it comes to like the bosses, a lot of them that have super health, those are usually the worst to go against. That's basically my nemesis then. So I want to say Thing was in the beginning. Thing was very difficult for me. He was just very hard to play against because of his buffs, etc. Eventually I wound up getting a rank level 200 Omega Red, which made things easier. And then as far as most recent content, I'd probably say Apocalypse was like one of the hardest bosses to go against at the beginning, is because I didn't realize, what his capability was. Is once the first person who died, gave him his unblockable specials, etc. So, but when he became
Yeah.
unblockable, that was pretty difficult at the time. So yeah, I would say Thing and Apocalypse probably the hardest champions for me, and I was going up against them. Dragon
Okay.
Man I never really played against, but I know the Dragon Man could make things difficult for people still. So I would say those are probably the three that gave either myself with my lines a hard time.
All right. Was there a fight that you had played that just that you got it right away and it just felt satisfying?
As far as a particular defender, I would probably say Quark. He was one of the ones that I really played well against. In the beginning, it's because I basically watched as many videos of him as possible. So I used to always be like the core killer. They used to always say, okay, make sure you have your suicides on and bring Omega Red. So that was pretty much it, Again, it was all depending on the node as well. So I know there's certain nodes that he could be pretty difficult. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I would say that him. I know Doom in the beginning was very difficult to play against because of his SP1 SP2 combination. But eventually I got a hold of Doom as well. So I haven't really played much against Mojo or anyone else like that. But yeah, I'd say Doom was one of the harder champions in the beginning to play against.
Okay. All right. Jay, if you got anything else?
Yeah. So Heather wants to know how you and Jackson Pierce crossed paths, because she discovered you through Jackson.
Oh, that's funny. I think that I follow a lot of music reactors, and I believe that's how I found him. I believe that there was someone by the name of April Showers, who's also a music reactor, may have mentioned Jackson Pierce once, and I decided to check out his channel, and I just popped in a feed. I liked some of his videos, and that's how I became a subscriber, and that's how I ended up meeting Heather and some of the friends that he has on his channel. Thank you, Heather, for asking. Made me think for a second, because that was like came out of left field, but yeah.
That's awesome.
I do follow a lot of music reactors, basically, because I'm a big fan of hip hop and
Yeah, man.
that genre. So, which I do have some elements of that in my music as well. So I do follow a lot of reactors. I listen to how they break down certain songs, certain tracks, and I also get involved in their community whenever they're doing something, just like mcoc. Whenever they're doing an event or whenever they have the live streams, I try to jump on when I can and just support their reactors as much as possible. And they're giving me a lot of great feedback, and also their subscribers to my music, and they all love it. They think that it's cool that I get to do this type of music. So.
That's awesome. I'm a big fan of Crypt and Joey, NATO. I like them.
Oh, okay.
I've met them because they went on tour, and I actually he was on tour with Mac Lethal, and I was like, dude, I told Mac Lethal a couple years before, I was like, yo, you should do a song or try to rap together. And I'm like, they actually did a tour like a couple years later, and I told them that story, and they're like, holy crap, yeah, you're that kid that told me that who can rap faster. It was really awesome. I love those guys.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, Crypt actually is a cool guy. I never met him, but I've seen a lot of his videos, and he's actually co-owner of Indie Amplify, which is it's like an independent artist way of trying to get get known
Mhm.
out there. So he's the co-owner of that, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you ever checked it out, Indie Amplify.
Yeah,
Maybe something to definitely check out. Yeah, I think it's pretty.
that's awesome.
What kind of music do you guys like, by the way?
I like rap, hip hop. Mostly EDM. I really like genres around there. Nothing but anything besides that.
I listen to
Okay.
the same, but I listen to a little bit of rock and metal and stuff like that
Oh,
too.
okay.
I listen to that, pretty much everything but country.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
sorry, country fans.
Yeah, I kind of like the same, but I listen to a little bit of everything. But yeah, I'd say, Jay, if you like hip hop, I'm sure you've heard some of my tracks, but if you haven't, you may like, let's see, maybe Triumph is one of the good ones.
Yep, I know that one. Yeah, I listen to a lot of your
Ver-
stuff.
okay, cool. Yeah.
I've been stuff for a couple months June or People's Champ. Yeah, he said check you out whenever you. I was there for your fundraiser. So yeah, I was there with
Awesome.
June there. It was fun, man. It was awesome. I love June. Fundraiser was fun. Everything June does is awesome.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. So, what is your favorite track of mine so far?
Ooh, I know. I remember Triumph. So I mean, that's. There was another one that I really like. I'll have to check it out if I can remember.
I mean, I do have a lot of tracks on there, so I wouldn't
Yeah.
hold it against you.
I put it in a playlist.
Our new intro.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it'd be nice to maybe. I don't know if you're able to play it for the people that are on here now, but
I sent Jay actually MP3. I don't know if he's able to play it or not.
Ooh, I don't think I can play it right now. I'm not really prepared for that.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
Yeah,
yeah, so not including our intro, Triumph is my favorite because it's actually in my stream-friendly playlist that I have whenever I stream my content. I play this playlist, and I have Triumph in that playlist. Yeah, that one's a good one. I got some music with Captain Manny as well. You guys.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Captain Manny's actually one of my buddies. He's actually I helped him out too when he had his own fundraiser for his what do you call it, computer program, music program.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Sergeant Bourne did a fundraiser for him, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
well, it's a good, nice, tight knit community of music creators that are trying to just make things fun for everyone, especially YouTubers who are always looking for good music. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So is there anything we can look forward to with music or content or any collabs or live shows or anything you're up to?
Well, I'm gonna be hopefully working soon on another track. Actually, I was thinking of even extending the one that I sent you guys as the intro, and maybe actually doing a full production on it, like an actual video on my channel.
That's awesome.
Okay.
So I'm definitely looking to do something like that as far as my next project, and then do working on some other things. As far as outside of that, I may try to eventually create a separate channel for maybe music that people may want to purchase. So that's something else that I was looking into, because I know a lot of people say, hey, I want to be able to own that track or that song, whatever, that beat. So I was thinking of doing that as well as a separate project. But as far as for now, the next nearest thing would be, I guess, an extension and a full scope project of the intro that I gave you guys.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
That's awesome. Yeah. So where can people find you?
Well, I'm at LC Music Tracks basically everywhere. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Basically, I'm also on Discord, of course, and but I'm usually a lot more active on Instagram and Twitter, etc. Where everybody can find me at LC Music Tracks.
Very nice. Jay, you got anything else over there?
Nah, man, dude. That's all my notes. I wish you the best of luck, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing that and the rest of your content grow, man. It's crazy. Your channel's growing a lot. Love seeing it.
Thank you.
Thank you. 1,000, so it's awesome on YouTube at least.
Yeah, I'm almost at 1,000. I still need a lot of clock hours, whatever it is that you guys call it, watch hours. But That's because I don't really do live streams. I mean, in the
Yeah.
beginning I started doing them just because I wanted to just get a feel for it. But once I have a little bit better setup, I'll definitely do some live streams. Maybe do some live music hookups, which is always a lot of the fans like to see,
Yeah.
which is when you're creating an actual music or a song and people actually watching and seeing how you do it and etc. So I was thinking of doing something like that in the future where people can see how my creative process flows.
Oh, that's cool.
From the beginning towards the end. So I may do something like that as well.
That's awesome. Yeah,
you.
dude, I want to thank you again for coming by. You've been a great guest. And we wish you the best of luck in your music endeavors.
I appreciate it. It's definitely a lot of fun being here with you guys, and something that I've always cherished, and I appreciate everyone that came in as well too. Everyone that came in to just pop in and say hello, or just at least was happy that you guys were able to interview me and go from there. And hopefully, maybe later on the line, I'd like to do this again if you guys will have me.
Hell yeah, man.
For sure. Awesome. Yeah, dude. Thanks again, Jay and LC Music Tracks, for joining us in interviews, and have a good night, everybody.